Take a nice deep breath into your heart. Let it go through your mouth. Take another one. You want to be right here, right now. Be right where you are. No matter what's going on, no matter what's happening, no matter what you've been thinking, this is a fresh moment right now. Breathe into your heart and out through your mouth. Good. Notice where you are. Touch something. Greetings, precious, dear one. My topic is you are not your past. This is very, very, very important. But even it's so strange with words and sounds and meanings that we've given everything, and setting ourselves up with so many beliefs, constructs, ideas, rules, regulations, laws, all of this. And it all comes down to words and printed words, laws written down, ancient papers, so to speak, and all of this kind of thing. And whatever we have done, and we are eternal. However, time, the time game, let's call it that, is not eternal. It's a concept. And you are the conceiver, not the concept. Your body could be a concept, an idea, a belief, given meaning, or that is influencing that body and expressing in this form. In the same way that you are not this physical body, you have nor this material, called carnal mind, intelligence, and fabricated false identity, ego. You all have an identity, but it's not what we call ID. You are a divine being, and you have all the qualities of the divine, except not the quantity. Yet we draw from the reservoir of the quantity that is unlimited, beyond what we would call limitation or concepts of this particular reality, or how would we call it, conception. When we identify with the past then, and everything we've done, and then others identify us with the past. In fact, when I knew I needed to start and have a ministry and do television ministry, I knew I had to get away from everyone that I knew, because I was so susceptible to what they thought and what they said. And it would so take me down that I would just give up. And knowing my weakness. Now, our weaknesses are also our strengths, depending on how you use them. And, okay, so when you realize who you are not the past, and you're not even really the now. These are words to help us to come to the realization and knowing in this moment of now and being who we are, free of the veils and the layers of ignorance. The best way to do that is to practice being now. And you'll notice that when the mind is operating, it's always operating on the past and changing it, or reliving it again in some way over and over, as if it's gum that you're still chewing, that you left on the bedpost overnight, and chew it again the next day just in case there is a taste or a morsel of some nectar of pleasure, because we're pleasure seekers. Yet by putting us out here, we're trying to seek pleasure in that which doesn't have pleasure, because we are the pleasure. And then when we give the source of our happiness, our pleasure, our protection, our maintenance to what has happened in the past, then we limit ourselves now, and therefore in our future now, by the belief that the past has to be repeated now. And that only happens when it is a mechanical operation where a program is set on repetition. And it is that, you might say, that circle just given a twist, which then keeps the infinity belt on the outside and the inside, and this infinity that the past repeats the future repeats the past. And you want to empower yourself, and how we empower ourselves is from the future, not the past. In the sense of what we call the future is what I would like to have or to be or to bring forth or to recognize. And you want to, I've always said that go for the topmost that's possible. And a lot of people think, well, it's the biggest mansion or the biggest car. Well, you could say that if you think that's it, but it's not that. We don't even, we do know, but we maybe have forgotten, and the veils of ignorance are so strong, yet our own knowing and our own connection is always there as we recognize that, and always remember the divine and never forget. That means always remember who you are, and that is the practice of being in the now. And one of the best ways is then to tune in with nature. Because even though you hear there's an airplane or something, or this comes or that, I mean, that's artificial, you see, where this is the natural, and yet we're also using technology in order to do this. And yet, when we do use what we have or the technology, then we want to not have it use us, and to know to use it in directly for what we need and want that's in harmony with our purpose, yet not to lose our real sense of who we are in the technology. And that's very challenging, because the tendency, as we give power to anyone or any search engine or anything outside of who we are, we deny we already have it. And we're told we don't have it, and you're going to get it somewhere. But then the further we go out into the need of it, rather than to go within to activate and realize all that we are, and we have it all. So you are not the past. It doesn't need to repeat. And what you can notice from the past are patterns or habits or that sort of thing. And then when we acknowledge where is the source of that, where did it come from, and we get to the very cause of it, which are concepts, ideas, thoughts, words that we have made true and real, that have become the law and have become God, that we have surrendered ourselves to as if the authority, the author of our story of who we are and what is possible for us. And real self-love, my dear ones, is to honor who you are and to claim that and to do whatever it takes to really know the truth. And the absolute truth does exist, and you are the absolute truth. And you are part of the absolute truth. And that number one rule is to endeavor always for the happiness, well-being, good fortune, you might call success, of every living entity, to be fully who they are without restriction. Okay. And when we are that, and we are endeavoring for that, we celebrate that. And when you think you are the past, or we believe that we set up our present and future by, like, it would be like driving your car and just watching the rear view mirror and saying, well, that's who I am. No. Unlimit yourself. And the only way is to get out of the box. Yet thinking always is a construct that creates another box. Mirrored, walled, repeating, reflecting, building. So you go to the now and realize that the right moment is a fresh, new moment. And you can put in it whatever you want. And also from the past, we could also, there's where the guilt is and the forgiveness and all of the other that's needed. But we'll do that in another one. But no, you are not the past. You are not even the story. Okay? You're not the narrative. Yeah. Get your bare feet on the ground. Tune in to the earth. Listen. Tune into yourself. On for the ride.